Mr. Nageswaran has given hope of relief for America's steep trade tariff. Speaking in Kolkata, he said he expects the penal duties imposed on India imports to be rolled back after November 30th. Just let me straight away introduce you to the bite.
And I will take some time to talk about the tariff here. Yes, not only the original reciprocal tariff of 25% plus the penal tariff of 25%, both were not anticipated. I still believe that geopolitical circumstances may have led to the second 25% tariff, but considering recent developments in the last couple of weeks and so on, I do believe, I have no particular basis to say so, just my intuition, that the penal tariff will not be there beyond November 30th. I mean, it's not a statement of based on any concrete indicator or evidence. It's my hope that given the recent developments which we see in terms of both countries finding an off-ramp and reaching out to each other, and including the important negotiator being India in the first 2 days of this week, I do believe that there will be a resolution in the next couple of months on the penal tariff and hopefully on the reciprocal tariff also.
Okay, let me straight away go to Ambassador Jain Dasgupta, former ambassador to the World Trade Organization. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. Though he says that it's his gut feeling, no one says like that, sir. And if you are a senior functionary like that in the government of India, you don't say these things.
Well, he must have had some reason to say this. And I think the portents are there that there could be a possible trade deal by November, as Prime Minister Modi and Minister Goyal have also indicated.
Yes.
But one of the things which I'm sure would be put on the side of India would be that this 25% has to be rolled back, otherwise there is no agreement. And I think the CEA is banking on that would be a precondition, kind of a red line for India, that this 25% secondary tariff has to be rolled back completely. That is one thing. The second point is that if the other 25%, which was levied on the 7th of August, that remains, then India, in terms of its labor-intensive industries like clothing and textiles, leather, gems and jewelry, shrimp, etc., it doesn't, remain competitive because all its competitors in the neighboring countries like Vietnam, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Indonesia, Malaysia, they are all at 19-20%. So that will also have to be rolled back. Whether it is 20% or 15%, that remains to be seen. So these are some of the things I think which have led the CEA to give this prediction that by 30th of November. But that 30th of November, I think, is predicated on the fact that India and the US arrive at some kind of a bilateral trade agreement. And this would necessarily then need to be built into that.
But you see, hammering, what is your bigger idea of hammering out those really tight and tough issues related to agriculture, sir? Because recently one of the senior functionaries from Oval Office said, why isn't America buying the American corn bushel, He went straight down to the crop.
Well, I am, I just saw a piece by Chidanand Rajghat, who's a very senior journalist,
yes.
and who writes from the US now. He has mentioned that there is widespread, misery and apprehension amongst the soya and corn farmers of the Midwest, who are very strong MAGA supporters and supporters of President Trump, of course, because China has stopped buying soya from the US, and it has now again shifted to Brazil. And this is going to cause havoc with the soya prices and cause very widespread hardship amongst the soya farmers. Similarly, it is with respect to corn. Now, one of the things which the Americans don't seem to realize is that India is self-sufficient in corn. In some years, it actually exports corn.
So where do we
So
accommodate the
why
corn,
should
sir?
it? So why should it, allow corn to come in and heavily subsidized corn at that, and GM corn in all likelihood? These are some of the things which the US administration needs to get into its head, that this is a no-go area. That it is not going to work. If it is something which is required for our blending of 20% with ethanol with gasoline, that is a different issue, and that perhaps could open the door a little bit
Are
to
you
work
hopeful?
out.
Are
But
you hopeful, sir?
about this whole agreement,
Yeah, the big picture. Not it's not a question
yeah,
asked
yeah.
just like that.
I think, the US will have to accept that there would be these red lines and they will not be able to cross them. On Russian oil, I think the Indians will stick to their stand that we will keep buying. So if these are acceptable to the Americans and they want to pocket the near zero duty which India seems to have offered according to President Trump in his numerous speeches, then I think it would be a good deal for the US. And then there could be an agreement.
Okay, thank you.